So in previous lecture, we have seen nested if else, how to combine conditions. And then we have seen programs like max of two numbers, max of three numbers. Yesterday, we have seen interesting logic for max of three numbers, if you remember Lalu's logic. And then we also practice minimum of three and minimum of four numbers, correct? And this program was given to you for homework. You have to accept single digit number from user and display it in the words. So how can you do it? That's fine. Lower your hands. Thank you. So you will have to write a function because you want to write C program. So you write main function because you have to accept single number from user. You take that no, which is an integer. To accept single digit number, say printf enter single digit number, scanf %d and no. You know how to accept number from user. It's very easy. Now you can start from anywhere because there are 10 possibilities. You can start from anywhere. Sequencing really doesn't matter here because we don't know what number user will enter. So I started from 0. If you want to have different sequence, you can do that. So if number is 0, printf 0. Now don't write only if, because if you write 10 if without else, it will have unnecessary condition checking. I explained to you in previous two lectures that if you don't use else, a lot of times there is a unnecessary condition checking, which you can avoid by writing else. So else लिहिलं की त्याचा फायदा होतो, त्याचा उगाचच condition check होतात. It becomes more faster. So if number is not 0, what it can be? It can be 1 to 9. So keep checking condition one by one. So else if number equal 1. Remember for comparison we use double equal, not single equal. Single equal to number store होतो. Compare नहीं होत. So if it is 1, printf 1. Else if number is 2, printf 2. Because all our digits don't write in single quotes. Huh? These are all numbers. So don't write 0, 1, 2 single quotes. Then else if number equal to 3, printf 3. Like you can go on writing till 9. So lastly, else if number equal to 9, printf 9. Now what if it is not between 0 to 9, if it is not single digit number? You can write last else saying what? Printf it is not single digit number, because we have to print in words only single digit numbers. Otherwise there is no limit. The number can be 2-digit number, 3-digit number, 4-digit number, 5-digit number and so on. So we have to work only on single digit number as per the question says. Clear? Hai? Second logical, anybody has any doubts? Now those who have not done homework, those typical students can take a screenshot of this. Done? So that when you practice programs, you have a code for reference. आपण जसं बोर्डवरनं कोड लिहून घेतो वहीमध्ये, तसं तुम्ही स्क्रीनशॉट काढून घ्यायचा. Screenshot is a time saving idea. Now there are some students, good students in our class, which I'm going to call them as now A group students. Those are doing homework on their own. But there is a category of students who are not doing on their own. So I'm giving you a reference code for reference. Do not copy code. Do not look at the code and type. Then you'll become typist. If you want to become programmer, never refer to the code. You understand the code. In your free time, you try to reproduce same code. You try to write same program. You परत code program लिहून बघा जमतोय का. आणि मग error आल्या तर लढत बसा, struggle. See how to fix the problems. In the worst case, you refer to the code. Otherwise, you'll become simply typist. You will not understand. You will not become programmers. Ideally, you should try on yourself. Okay. Now, next question. Now, what are you supposed to do? We have to accept a choice from user. What can be choice? Just like when you go to hotel, they give you a menu card and they tell you the options available in the hotel. And you choose one of the option and you give the order. Same here, we have to give a choice to user. Choice can be C, R or T because you are just accepting one character from user. Choice is one character. Now, if choice is C, you have to find area of circle. If it is R, you have to find area of rectangle. If it is T, find area of triangle. And if it is none of this, CRT, then in that case, you have to display a message, error message, invalid choice. I'm explaining Marathi. युजरकडनं आपल्याला चॉईस घ्यायचा आहे. चॉईस म्हणजे एक कॅरेक्टर घ्यायचं आहे. ते कॅरेक्टर फक्त CRT हेच असू शकतं. जर C असेल तर आपल्याला सर्कलचा एरिया काढायचा आहे. R असेल तर रेक्टँगलचा एरिया आणि T असेल तर ट्रायंगलचा एरिया. सो C फॉर सर्कल, R फॉर रेक्टँगल अँड T फॉर triangle. Okay. So user will decide which area he wants or he or she wants. See, previously, if you remember, we have written the program, separate programs. If you remember second or third lecture, finding area of circle, separate program, rectangles area, separate program, triangle area, separate program. Now same program we require, but now we are not going to write three separate programs. We are going to write one program which will have all these three logics. कळतं का? एकच प्रोग्राम लिहायचा आहे. त्यात आपल्या सर्कलचा एरिया, रेक्टँगलचा एरिया, मागे जे लिहिलेले प्रोग्राम आहेत ते कंबाईन करायचे, क्लब करायचे आतमध्ये आपल्याला. ओके, सो you have to ask a choice to user, and according to user choice you have to execute one of the code, circle area, rectangle area or triangle area. Is the question clear? So take 5 minutes. Those are confident about the programming, they can do it online actually practically, or alternatively you can do it on paper. Right now, to save time, I'll suggest you write on paper right now so that your logic is ready, your thoughts are ready. ठीक आहे, तुमचे तुम्ही विचार सगळे मांडा कागदावरती, कागदावरती प्रोग्राम करा, लिहा आणि मग आपण डिस्कस क्लास घेऊयात. In discussion you will get a better logic or better ideas. The learning will happen in discussion after writing a program, then only you'll understand discussion or it will more better either. ठीक है, so chalo, take 5 minutes. Once you finish your trying either on paper or on computer, whatever it is, raise your hands. So first of all, do we have to define CRT? Okay, those are writing program on paper. Basically, you're going to find a problem ki, what about CRT? Are you going to define it? Tell me, this CRT, the choice that you're going to enter here. So if you define three variables, C for circle, R for rectangle, T for triangle, are you going to take three choices from user or one choice? You'll be taking one choice, no? Correct. So if you take one choice from user, why you're writing three variables here? Somebody has posted a code on chat box and showed me this code. This is wrong because just remember one basic concept. When you write scanf, for one format character, %d, %c, whatever, you have to write only one variable here. You can't write three variables here. User is going to enter one of these. यातला काहीतरी एकच user enter करणार आहे, तीन enter नाही करणार आहे. हे लक्षात घ्या. Okay, so that's wrong. You don't have to define CRT. CRT are simply characters. They're character constants. See, yesterday or before, some time before, we written a program for a lucky number. So that time we written the program lucky number 7. So we have not defined 7. Now 7 is a constant. Similarly, CRT are character constants. Don't define them. Okay. Choice is only one variable in which you have to accept one choice from user, which can be C, R or T. And if it is none of this, then there is error. Okay. All right. So let's write main. Let's take one variable for choice, CH for choice now. It's a character variable. Ask user to enter choice C, R or T. Inform user what should be choice. User la menu card dakhwala paye na. Don't just say enter choice. User may not know what is choice, right? So user dakhwa choice kai C, R, T. And then just accept choice from user. Scanf %C and CH. Now, depending on the choice given by user, you have to take the action. Correct? आपल्याला युजरकडे चॉईस घ्यायचा आहे आणि त्या चॉईस प्रमाणे आपल्याला ऍक्शन घ्यायची ना. So you can compare anything, C, R, T, it's up to you. So if choice is equal C, now observe, CH is a character variable. Variable names are never enclosed in single quotes or double quotes. Whereas C is a character constant. Specifically, you are saying about character C. So you have to enclose character in single quotes. So if that character is C, then you have to find area of circle. Else, what else means? Else means it is not C. So if it is not C, what it can be? It can be R or T. So again, you have to compare. So write else if. Whole idea is to practice nested if else. So else if choice is R. So if it is R, then write the code area of rectangle. Now, if you're observing carefully, this time I have written curly brackets. Why so? Because inside if or else, when there is a single statement, then you don't need curly brackets. But if you want to write multiple statements, you have to enclose them in curly brackets. आपण आतापर्यंत केलेल्या प्रोग्राममध्ये सगळीकडे इफ एल्स मध्ये एकच वाक्य होतं म्हणून कर्ली ब्रॅकेटची कधी गरज नाही पडली. आता कर्ली ब्रॅकेट्स लागणार. Why curly brackets required now? Because to find area of circle, you have to accept the radius, na? So printf enter radius, scanf %c or %d radius, printf area of circle equal to 3.142 into r into r. So there is printf scanf printf 3 lines code. It is whenever there are more than one statements, you have to write them in curly brackets. Clear? That's why again same here, area of rectangle, code in curly brackets. Else, what else means? Choice is not R. So first else has told you it is not C. Second else will tell you it is not R. No R नसेल तर काय असेल? तर T असेल, T for triangle. But it can be something else also apart from CRT. So don't take chance condition checking. Else if choice is T, then find area of triangle. Now this else says that choice is not T, then there is an error. Correct ना? I repeat मराठी. फर्स्ट एल्स काय सांगतोय? पहिला हा एल्स की चॉईस सी नाहीये. दुसरा एल्स काय म्हणतोय? चॉईस आर पण नाहीये. तिसरा एल्स काय सांगेल? चॉईस टी पण नाहीये. मग सी आर टी नसेल म्हणजे मग ती एरर आहे. सो इन दॅट केस राईट जस्ट एरर printf invalid choice. This is the basic skeleton of your code. Are you getting the structure now? Now we'll have to replace the inside comments because // means comments. You have to actually write the code there. इथे सर्कलचा एरियाचा कोड लिहायचा आहे, रेक्टेंगल एरियाचा कोड लिहायचा आहे, ट्रायंगल एरियाचा कोड लिहायचा आहे. ठीक आहे? इथपर्यंत सगळ्यांना कळलंय? एनीबडी एनी डाउट्स? स्पेशली दोज हू कुड नॉट राइट प्रोग्राम. Okay, now let's focus on the main part. So if, see, I already mentioned this character constant single quotes. So if choice is C, how to find area circle? I've just taken previous code as it is. Printf enter radius, scanf %d, store that radius in R, area equal to %f, because number is fraction. If you remember 3.142 into R, that's a pi R square. Value of pi is 3.142. Similarly, if choice is R, you have to find area of rectangle. So you ask user to enter length and breadth. So printf enter length and breadth. Scanf %d, 1% for length, second %d for breadth. And then print the area equal to %d, length into breadth. Done. Else, if choice is T, you have to find area of triangle. So for area of triangle, formula is half base into height. So you know that time we discussed it already. Enter base and height. Scanf %d, first %d base, second %d height. Then formula area equal to %f, half means 0.5 into base into height. So that will give you the area of triangle. Is this clear to all of you? ज्यांना प्रोग्राम जमलेला नाही लिहायला त्यांना कळलाय कसं लिहायचा आहे तो. Take a screenshot of this so you can practice. Done? Okay. Now what about variable declarations? See, we are learning every time something new in every lecture through different programs. प्रोग्राम फक्त मी घेतोय वेगवेगळे, पण आपल्याला त्यातनं वेगळं लर्निंग आहे, वेगळं आपण गोष्टी शिकतो त्यातनं. So what about variable declarations? What variable require here are? What require here length and breadth? What require base and height? So are you going to declare here variables? By the way, where do you declare variables? Variables are declared at the start of the block. कर्ली ब्रॅकेटच्या स्टार्टला व्हेरिएबल डिक्लेअर करायला लागतात, लक्षात ठेवा. बिफोर एनी एक्झिक्युटेबल कोड, म्हणजे प्रिंटफच्या स्कॅनफच्या आधी लिहायला लागतात व्हेरिएबल्स, जसं आपण डिक्लेअर केले तिथं असे. You can do it on next line if you want, not a problem. So R for radius, length, base, breadth, and base. For breadth and base, we can reuse variable b, na? Correct? So now the point is, for circle we have taken R, for length and breadth we have taken L and B, for base and height we have taken B and H. Correct? So do we need really all these variables? विचार करा. Can we minimize the variables? Think na, the way you have reused B, B for breadth, B for base. See, any variable names are for programmers. User is not going to see variable names ना. युजरला काय फरक पडतो तुम्ही आतमध्ये काय भांडी वापरलीत, कुठली काय करताय. व्हेरिएबल नेम तुमच्यासाठी आहेत. My point is, if it is area of circle, then only you require R. If it is R, then only require L and B. If it is T, then only you require base and height. So if I enter choice as C, you require only radius. In that case, you don't require length, breadth, and height. Na? Similarly, if the choice is R, they require length and breadth. You don't require radius or base and height. Similarly, if choice is T, you require base and height. You don't require other variables. So you require either R or LB or BH. Correct? So we can minimize the variables. For example, if I take two variable names, in general, AB. Okay. How many already used so many variables here? Those written program, how many use these variables? 11 people. That's okay. Fine. Thank you. Lower your hands. So we want to learn how to minimize variables now. Okay. That's how we optimize the program. So I take generalized two variables A and B. I see you say enter radius instead of R, I am storing in A. And formula is correct. So when formula is correct, the answer will be correct. शेवटी कोणतरी म्हणलं ना, नावात काय लॉजिक मध्ये सगळं आहे. लक्षात घ्या. So even if you just change variable name, logic is not going to change. Formula is the same. So output is going to be perfect. Same thing for if your choice is rectangle R, then you enter length and breadth in A and B. Formula is correct. A into B will give you length and into breadth. That's area of rectangle. Same thing when you ask user to enter base and height, you accept percent D, first base in A, second in height in B. You put the formula correct, 0.5 into A into B. So instead of these many variables, in just two variables, we can manage the whole program now. Yes or no? So has anybody used this technique of minimize variables? Good. You have used two variables. Those are raising hands. Good. Very nice. Now, lower your hands. Thank you. Now the question is about readability. आता हा एक पॉईंट प्रोग्रामिंग करताना नेहमी येतो. इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये सांगितलं जातं की नाही, व्हेरिएबलचे नाव रिडेबल वापरा, बिकॉज व्हॉट हॅपन्स इज इन वन प्रोग्राम it's okay. You can use such variables A, B, C, D, whatever time pass you want. But when you're writing software, when you're writing thousands of lines of code, that time, if you use such time pass variable names, the other team members, or after 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, if you look back the code, you will not understand what this variable is doing. The variable ची नावं मिनिंगफुल असायला पाहिजेत. म्हणजे तुम्हाला दुसऱ्या तुमच्या टीम मेंबरला किंवा तुम्हाला काही वर्षांच्या प्रोग्राममध्ये आलात तर कळेल की व्हेरिएबल काय करतं. So AB are not meaningful variable names. So readability is lost. You have minimized variables, but readability is lost. Remember this. So those who use this technique, you'll be happy because you have saved memory, but at the same time, you have lost readability. Okay. Now, let's understand something, some basic concept, and then we'll again talk about readability. When you declare variable, there are two types of variables. Nitaika, it's a new concept to you. There are two types of variables: local variables and global variables. Now, what do you mean by local? For example, you see there are two types of trains: local train and other trains. Local train म्हणजे काय? Pune's local doesn't go to Bombay or Nashik or Kolhapur. Similarly, Bombay's local doesn't come to Pune. What do you mean by local? Local means it works only in that area. That's called local. Na? Same thing. Earlier in the old days, there were local phones. Red color dabba as a phone booth. So local phone use can be used only for that local area. You cannot make STD call from there or ISD call from there. International calls. That is a global concept. So water variables. Water variables we declare inside curly brackets are called as local variables. And these variables can be used only in that block. I repeat in Marathi. आपण जेव्हा कर्ली ब्रॅकेटच्या आतमध्ये व्हेरिएबल डिक्लेअर करतो. फॉर एक्झाम्पल बघा इथं आपण इथं वॉइड मेनच्या आतमध्ये ही कॅरेक्टर CH INT बी ही व्हेरिएबल डिक्लेअर केली कुठं या ब्लॉकच्या आतमध्ये मेनच्या. सो दीज व्हेरिएबल्स ही जी आहेत व्हेरिएबल्स ही व्हेरिएबल फक्त या ब्लॉकच्या आतमध्ये वापरता येणार आहेत. तर जी व्हेरिएबल्स आपण ब्लॉकच्या आतमध्ये डिक्लेअर करतो कर्ली ब्रॅकेटच्या आतमध्ये डिक्लेअर करतो त्यांना लोकल व्हेरिएबल्स म्हणतात. आणि ती व्हेरिएबल फक्त ब्लॉकच्या आतमध्ये वापरता येतात. So where can we declare variables? What is the rule saying? So rule saying that these local variables are declared inside a block at the start of the block. बघा इथं हा जो void main, this is a curly bracket. We're declaring at the start of the block, inside a block, at the start of the block, before any executable statement in that block. So what is executable statement? For example, printf is executable statement, scanf is executable statement. These are not executable statements, these are declarations. So declaration has to be at the start of the block, correct? So these variables are local. CH is local, AB is local. Local to whom? Local to this block, outer block of main. So they are local to main function, correct? Now, if you read this point clearly, what you understand is the scope is limited to only that block, cannot be used outside that block. त्या ब्लॉकच्या बाहेर वापरता येत नाहीत ती व्हेरिएबल्स. When memory is allocated, when the program is running, when the control enters in that block, then memory is allocated to those variables. And when the block terminates, memory is released. जेव्हा कर्ली ब्रॅकेटच्या आतमध्ये कंट्रोल येतो तेव्हा मेमरी मिळते आणि कर्ली ब्रॅकेट तो जो ब्लॉक संपला की ती मेमरी जाते. लक्षात येत आहे? रिमेंबर दिस पॉइंट्स. एकदा वाचून घ्या सगळ्यांनी. रीड इट वन्स. Okay. Should we move ahead? Now, you just ignore this point right now. They get memory from stack. There's something called a stack and heap. So local variables get memory from stack. So at that point we ignore kara, you'll understand next year. And these variables contain garbage initially. So remember this point, when you get memory, they have the garbage. Means memory is not clean, they contain some unknown value, unwanted value, that is called as garbage. Now, what are global variables? Global variables are variables which are not declared inside a block. मग ब्लॉकच्या आतले व्हेरिएबल डिक्लेअर नाही करायचे, मग कुठं करायचे? They are declared before main, not inside any function, generally at the start of the program. So these variables can be used in any function. When we will learn function topic, that time I'm going to explain this again. They can be used anywhere in the program. That's their advantage. Right now we know only one function main, but later on we will learn functions. We'll write more functions. So global variables can be used anywhere. When they get memory at the start of the program. आपण जेव्हा प्रोग्राम रन करू तर स्टार्टला त्यांना मेमरी मिळते आणि प्रोग्राम संपला की त्याची मेमरी जाते. Okay, and they get memory from area called as heap. So the difference between local and global variables. Now, how I'm going to use it? So look at this. What are local variables? They should be declared at inside a block. So I have created a block here. This curly bracket means block. So I have declared them inside a block at the start of the block. Correct? So now advantage is, if my choice is C, need baga, look at the variable declarations. I have achieved readability plus I have used memory efficiently. So if my choice is C, then I enter in this block. When I enter in this block, R will get memory. And because R is declared inside this block, it is local to this block. So can be used only in this block, not outside. So you use the radius variable. When this block is over, memory is released. Same way, if choice is R, so if this condition false, so R will not get memory. So it will go to R, choice is R, it will go inside his block, memory is given to length and breadth. या दोन variables memory मिळणार. These are local variables, declared at the start of the block, inside this block, can be used only in this block. I am explaining in Marathi. नीट बघा व्हेरिएबल डिक्लेअर कुठे केले आहेत, ब्लॉकच्या आतमध्ये डिक्लेअर केले आहेत. हे ह्या ब्लॉकचे लोकल व्हेरिएबल्स आहेत, हे व्हेरिएबल्स या ब्लॉकचे लोकल आहेत, हे व्हेरिएबल्स या ब्लॉकचे लोकल आहेत. आपण सेम लोकल व्हेरिएबलचा कन्सेप्ट नीट वापरतोय. तर ऑटोमॅटिकली काय झालं, हे आर व्हेरिएबल फक्त या ब्लॉकमध्ये वापरलं जाणार आहे, एल अँड बी फक्त या ब्लॉकमध्ये वापरलं जाणार आहे, बी अँड एच फक्त ट्रायंगलच्या ब्लॉकमध्ये वापरलं जाणार आहे. सो व्हॉट इज द ॲडव्हान्टेज यू सी हिअर? वी हॅव अचीव्ड रिडेबिलिटी प्लस वी आर युझिंग मेमरी इफिशियंटली. What do you mean by using memory efficiently? की चॉईस जर सी असेल तर फक्त एकच व्हेरिएबल वापरणार आहे. If choice R, we use only these two variables. If choice is T, we use only these two variables. So we are using only required variables. लक्षात येतंय? So what to learn is, instead of declaring variables here inside just main, declared where it is required. Of course, you have to follow the rule at the start of the block, inside the block, before executable code in that block. Are you getting it? This is a new point you're learning. This is normally not taught in the colleges. You'll not find in the books also. Just come with the experience. झेपते का? How many like this idea? How many have learned this new idea here? किती लोकांनी नवीन आयडिया शिकायला मिळाली आज? Because there are good programmers in our class now. I can see they are doing on their own. Good. So when you write this program now for practice, use this, implement this idea. Okay? Fine. So this becomes a complete program. All right. Now, what's going to happen in this program? See what happened. Another issue. Practically, suppose if I write this program, You say enter choice. If I enter X, it's going to tell me invalid choice. But if I enter C, and if it still says invalid choice, it's surprising, no? But it's a possibility. When user will run the program, if a user enters C, he might get invalid choice. You enter R, you might get invalid choice. Because the possibility is that CRT, which you have checked here in the condition it baga, in the conditions, it's capital C, capital R, capital T. What if user enters small c or R or T? It's going to fail, na? Okay, nahi? User is a small letter, user caps lock समजा बंद असेल, caps lock off आहे. आणि if user enter C, युजरने R एंटर केलं किंवा T एंटर केला, तर तुमची हे कुठल्याही कंडिशन्स व्हॅलिड होणार नाहीयेत आणि तुम्हाला इनव्हॅलिड चॉईसची एरर येणार आहे. बरोबर ना? So we have to tackle this problem also. We have to handle this small letter CRT also. Correct? So how will you handle? Think. Correct. Correct, Harsh. That's correct. So we have to use the or and write it here. How? Like this. So we have to modify the conditions now. If choice is capital C or, see time to learn or. In last time in maximum 3 number program we have learned and. Now it's time to implement the or. So if choice is capital C or small c, find area of circle. If choice is capital R or small r, find area of rectangle. If choice is capital T or small t, find area of triangle. Anybody has already taken this care? Small can capital CRT? Just first of all, let's lower your hands and then I'll ask you a fresh question. Has anybody taken this care already? Yogeshwari, very good. Nice. Harsh, good. Ria, good. That's fine, Praveen. Okay. So you have to always take care की user can enter capital letter or small letter. Caps lock कधी कधी बंद असू शकतं, हे लक्षात घ्या. You cannot just tell user that it is not my mistake. I told you capital C, you should enter capital C, na? It's not my mistake. You want to make your program, guys, user friendly, not user enemy, ना? आपला user friendly program करायचा, user enemy नाही करायचा. So don't just keep complaining. Think positive, accept it. Adjustment जे लागेल करत चला. Programmer आहात तुम्ही. Listen to users. So you have to make it more flexible. And that's how we can do it by adding or conditions. Clear? Eh? Now those who have not written program, if you want, take a screenshot of this. So when you do practicals, you should add this small letter also. Done? Okay. Now some programming tips. नीट आहे का जरा? नीट शिका आता programming tips या. Suppose you find here if condition statement 1, else statement 2. You can negate the condition and exchange statements. So if you want, you can swap statement 1 and statement 2. Need ba color coding baga. Statement 1, statement 2, you can swap. How? By negating the condition. For example, if I write if A greater than B, then max is A, else max is B. Now if you want to switch these two conditions, if I want to swap, if I want to exchange this, I have to negate the condition. What is negation of greater than? Less than equal to. So you can write if A less than equal to B, then max equal to B, else max equal to A. बराबर ना? A greater than B आहे, it means max is A. But if you write reverse, if A is less than B means B is maximum, so you have to store B in max. Understanding this? Similarly, if condition 1, if condition 2 statement. Now if you're observing to execute this statement, there are two conditions, but you're writing if inside if. So instead of that, we can write these two conditions join using AND. If condition 1 is true and condition 2 is true, then execute the statement. तसे काय होत असतं, if condition 1 is false and then will not check second condition na. I told you yesterday. If condition 1 is true, then only it will check second condition. See, for example, if A is greater than B, if A is greater than C, then A is max. So I can combine these two conditions and say if A is greater than B and A is greater than C, max is A. Correct? Next, if condition 1, statement 1, else if condition 2, statement 1. Sometimes it happens. People write multiple conditions, but the action is same. So if this is the case, if also you're taking same action, else also you're taking same action, you can write this as if condition 1 or condition 2 execute this statement. So you can club them using or, not and, or. Okay. For example, if A is greater than 5, then printf God. Else if B is greater than 9, printf God. Okay, so you can write here if A is greater than 5 or B is greater than 9, printf God. असं आपल्याला combine करता येईल. Then if A is greater than B, max equal to A, else max equal to B. If max greater than C, max equal to max, else max equal to C. See here, sometimes like this, max equal to max and max equal to C. In this case, you can just avoid this because max equal to max is a nonsense. त्याचा काही use होत नसतो. Max मध्ये max आहेच ना. What you're trying to say, max equal to max means what? It's a useless statement. So what you can simply do, you can just negate this condition and then just write max equal to C. For example, instead of saying max greater than C, you can write max less than equal to C, or you can write C greater than max, max equal to C. Else is not compulsory, na? But if you want to write else, if is compulsory. So this can be optimized like this. So there are several ways you can optimize the code. All right, now it's already 8:30, so we have crossed 8:30, 40 now. Homework for today. What you have to do now? I'm giving you long homework. Okay, there's a lecture. Tomorrow's lecture will be last lecture. So tomorrow we're going to learn switch case also. Let's see how we proceed, how much time we get. So tomorrow I'll try to take a long time. So tomorrow I'll start at around 5:30 or 5 o'clock, and I'll try to take till 7:30, 8 o'clock. This is a lecture that जास्त वेळ असणार आहे because tomorrow is the last lecture in this year, academic year. I mean, after tomorrow's lecture, next lecture will be directly on 4th of January. After accepting marks of the subjects from user, marks are out of 100. So you have to do validation check. There is no negative marking. So what are valid marks? 0 to 100. So check all marks are valid. First of all, markers are valid असतील तर, then you have to check whether the student is passed or failed. What is failing? In any subject, if you get less than 40 marks, then declare fail. 40 ला passing आहे, 100 marks पेपर आहे, 40 ला passing आहे, and there is no etiquette here. Remember this. If you fail in any subject, fail. Then if passed, passed means what? You got at least 14 all the subjects, three subjects. Hmm? So if passed, then find percentage. How to find percentage? Simply add marks of three subjects. For example, M1, M2, M3 add kara and divide by 3. It will give you the average. That's a percentage. So find the percentage obtained, and depending on the percentage, you have to declare the class. Now, how do you award the class? Generally, in Pune University, what happens? If you get above 70 or 70 and above, you get distinction. Recently, somebody you might have observed on Facebook, I posted our class results of final year students of last year. So they're all the photos I posted. They're all distinction holders. They got 70 and above marks percentage. 60 to 69.99, they are graded as first class. 50 to 59.99, they are graded as second class. And 40 to 50 is pass class. So take a screenshot of this problem and try this program. It's a मोठा program आहे. If you want, I'll explain मराठी again. तुम्हाला युजरकडनं 3 सब्जेक्टचे मार्क घ्यायचे आहेत. ते पहिल्यांदा मार्क व्हॅलिड आहेत का चेक करायचे आहेत. व्हॅलिड मार्क्स कुठपर्यंत आहेत? 0 to 100 हे व्हॅलिड मार्क्स आहेत. व्हॅलिड असतील तर पास किंवा फेल चेक करायचं. 40 पेक्षा खाली असेल तर फेल. सगळ्या विषयामध्ये पास झाला असेल तरच पर्सेंटेज काढायचं आहे. आणि पर्सेंटेजवरनं त्याचा क्लास ठरवायचा आहे. त्या क्लासमध्ये टेबल दिलेलं आहे. इज द क्वेश्चन क्लिअर? ऑल राईट. पूजा, प्लीज टेक अ स्क्रीनशॉट अँड सेंड इन देअर व्हॉट्सअप ग्रुप.
तर केले ऑलरेडी.
गुड. डन.